what has been coming in is the truth. Some people don't afford to filter. What does the saying go? There is a path from the eye to the heart that does not filter through the mind. So, just with little old me here, I kind of live ignorant, and I live in the mountains, and it's just me here. But I'm a thinker, I think about things. I'm not short of contemplating, and I love doing that because you can really go to the most simplest places and think, it's just interesting how that contemplation is important. But anyway, it's part of imagining. It's imagination. Make it work. But so, we all have an autobiography, and so do I. And I've been paying attention. You pay attention to how you feel. Pardon me. And whatever dilemmas or dramas or you want to find out, well, why do you feel the way you feel, and stuff like that. Of course, the thing that you would maybe notice is how alone you are, even though, what makes you feel alone is being around people that you can't relate to, right? That they seem to be so disconnected that, um, well, including you need to separate yourself out. You need to individuate, is what it's called, and that's something that now, if you're looking at my material, I poke around at it a bit about narcissism and psychology. See, there's other people doing this study for us, and we've come up with a lot already, and very little, but enough that it's actually a solid enough thing to work with. Things like, well, there's child psychology. There's mechanisms that we see there operating, and then we see when we start graduating. Of course, there's adult psychology, but there's just psychology in general. What is it? It's very illusory because it has to do with the unseen field of information. You could say it's a false field of information if it tries to be more solid than just like, say, the reality of reality. You know, um, but see, we don't live in denial, and we have to contend with what is in reality, which includes, I was just going to say mental cases, but really it's just, well, you could say the fully encapsulated mind. People that are under the spell of the mind, I guess, and there is somebody in the background that kind of laughs at them because they got to their mechanism that creates illusion enough to put people in suffering and to make them work in certain ways, right? Now, see, just going along my way here, I'm looking at something and it's pretty obvious, and it's very much the stigma of the human organism. What I can't get into it right now, and after 4 minutes give you the picture that we're dealing with. You would have to contemplate it yourself, but really we have this this thing going on where something says that, well, you see, technological advances aren't all together bad if they are helping humanity. The thing is that it's like those things, such as that we think we need a better version of, like cooking machinery and the way we keep our foods, and then also, of course, the travel, all of it. When it starts to be host to our lives instead of we host it into our lives and let it work for us instead of us working for it, you see. And I mean, of course, there's a reciprocation and a give and take, but now, see, the main thing that comes into mind with that, without getting too confused here about things, is that um, there isn't caretaking being done concerning the organism's well-being in microcosms. It's it's more and more being dictated to by a macrocosmic radiation, right? Which would be the global occupation, the thing that thinks that it can accomplish this massive squawk box that says this is the way you will begin to think and see. This is very touchy subject matter, because now what I'm like, well, who is the leader there? Who is the leader? What is being dictated to us from who is it? Who is it? Is it a benevolent being that has a better idea about what's happening here on Earth than, say, the one that doesn't have capability to squawk? See, this is what we don't know, is who is doing this. Now, my intuition says that it's not at all what you crack it out to be, as far as how that it's appearing, something appears evil. You really have to look at that and see, and when you do, you can't go on a macro scale of analysis. You have to look at your microcosms. Does evil exist? What is it? Well, I say evil is anything that goes against universal laws to the point that it causes inhospitable conditions for all life, all of life. It's cancerous, right? It gets to be diseased there, and it has a way of need that it has to plug into an outer source of energy, perhaps, right? Because it's not plugging in. See, Jesus would say that the kingdom of heaven, or whatever, your energy is going to come from within you. Well, after a while, the symptoms of being evil, there would be a need to plug into an outer energy source. What I mean is just purely human energy, to feel what is working, what works, what can make things work, you see. This conversation is very real to me, see, because I'm looking at something. Um, I have an autobiography. We all do if we pay attention. And you see, it's a matter of being completely honest with yourselves. And if you are, then we can straighten. The word straighten comes up into mind because really we're going to bring up men and women. We want, we want the right math. We want a feeling. If anything, we want to feel something, because where that mankind has gone is a place of having lost their feelings. So I'm going to put up a video right here. Now, the main thing is to read some of the captions they hold. People have said something in history, and try to translate it as much as you can. Try to think, see, the problem with being just a mind, somebody who is a fully encapsulated mind. What we mean is that awareness is no more. See, the mind can't have awareness, and so when the awareness is sucked into the mind, it's gone. See, that's one of the things that will save your mind, save you from the disease of mind, if there is such a thing, and there is. Disease and mind are synonyms. When it's left unseen, which is mean if you're left unaware of it, you see, they're diametric opposites. The awareness is two different things, and the mind are two different things. See, I remember, and I'm thinking about it, and babes, are you aware? You need to know this is what's happening on this plane. If it's found out more and more, and it is, but a lot of it is covert, like, shh, let's see if anybody else finds out about the mind, the ones who are hiding, the ones who get paid big bucks to stay in that position of mind. Which now, when I say follow the money and look at the money, see, now we have a criminal justice system, supposedly. Funny name, it should be the honest people's justice system. But there's a system that says, well, we will fine you when you do the wrong things. We'll take your money away. We'll take your financial privileges away. We will fine you. We'll take your money away. See, that's what's supposed to be happening. You see, and see, babes, until we find it, and until we acknowledge who are the leaders, how it comes up that we know who the leaders are, who are they, and that they are microcosmically locative of our organism. Each household, if there's a household full of people that have a leader, there's a certain quality being that is born into that position. And the thing is I see it. See, I'm not a biased person. I can care less. And to tell you the truth, the leaders can care less. They're like, you're either in or out. Really, right? You either are interested in your own version of being good, the best you can be, being all that you can be, or you're not. You have fallen by the wayside. You're not contributing anymore. You're a danger, right? Even to yourself. So, I'm not going to really open this can of worms full wide to the obvious of what I'm looking at, but it appears, and this is what I want nothing to do with it, and I understand now, and it could be that I could open this up. Not a trend to set, but as a leader here, it will be just something that a leader. You have a leader that kind of fishes forward and goes, and they go, you know what? I think so too. And so people gather around, and as far as money, if we need protection, money will help. See, getting back to what will protect us is see, that's money is a peculiar thing that I keep finding out in a way that I can't articulate here without sounding kind of ridiculous, but I almost did, talking about, well, to reorient money into a position of safety where if there is a goddamned alien presence that is giving us technologies and stuff, and we need money to maintain that into our organism, say, and there damn well is. You see, the organism has an intelligent system that is alive and well, that knows how to live, that knows how to filter things. and say, no, by the way, we won't do that because it will cause illness. It's just, logically, it's not looking right. It won't add up. And then you just don't do it. That's a discipline. See, that's what the Buddha would suggest. It's like, instead of doing it, why not do it? That's a skill. Now, I'm pointing at something that says, instead of going out, why not go in? Now, there's a part of the organism that sticks out, and then there's a part of the organism that goes in. Which one is that? Are we talking about men and women? Yes. Who is the leader out of the two? Women are. And I am not at all a biased person. I'm not a biased person. I'm not somebody who's playing a game with men or women. I have set myself aside from that fucking charades game, whatever is going on there, and just observed and thought, well, both men and women could become purely aware, and they can just say, well, what is it that we call awareness? What is it? They can have this conversation and they can both come up with the same thing because it's the truth. And that will help them, because then they will find their common sense, because it's the same for each. What is awareness? I was asked this, babe. 80%, if not 95% of people I was going to say they're psychopaths, but you can't say that. But you can. But some people are psychos. They're completely. They're fucked up, and their heads have taken them over, and they are a certain way. Now, it seems that it's really easy to say for me, babes, it's the truth. And we have to be really careful, because when you start pointing this out, this is what's going to happen. When Pluto goes into Aquarius, it's going to become more and more clear there's fully encapsulated mind, mental cases, and then there are people that are not sick. See, the saying goes quite simply. There are sick people, and then there are meditators. A lot of people don't know what meditation is. But we're gonna open all this. It's coming up. I'm not an isolated incident. What I'm looking at, I'm definitely a leader in how that I go general. And it's like, well, no. See how I call the human aperture, the occupation on this planet, men and women, supposedly. Really, they have to wake up before they even qualify into being men and women. We don't see it. We call it an organism. An organism. See, so this is what I'm looking at, you guys, is that the intelligence system of the human being. This is like an obvious too. It's wired up by the woman. Men have this thing. I've ran into a few of them in person that they think that they control. Like, well, no, they're the ones having kids. It's like, no, you're not. And a woman can take birth control via her mother showing her how to control her birth rate, how to make it so that she does never get pregnant until she sees that there is a human being there that cares for her. Organism, pardon me. Then she can just stop taking birth control, which is as simple as stop eating the tops of carrots. Stop eating the carrot seeds. They keep you infertile until you stop taking them. See, people don't even know. It's like, well, what if half of the organizations who have opened up fertility clubs and clinics to see, why doesn't your woman want to have your kid? Well, maybe she's taking birth control secretly. Because she's smart. She's trying to bring up a human being there. She doesn't want to reproduce with a psychopath or a narcissist who is not a human being. So she can just never mention that she's taking birth control, but look at all these buildings coming up and saying, oh, for fertility problems and blah, blah, blah. And the man has a problem too. Yeah, he does. He's not born into his intelligence. See, I figured this out. You'll see it on my YouTube channels here. I'm like, babes, it's just me here. And I don't really fish for information. I saw something yesterday about this tribe that just confirmed their entire tribe has a religious value that comes from the common sense that the women keep together. They say, by the way, women are born to women, from women to women, so they have their own intelligence. Basically, they're perfect. They're born perfect. Now, I say, and I know, being kind of protected here away from men who will just start turning into seething, fucking demonic, whatever they are, because what are they? They're apt to be jealous. If you notice, men are apt to be jealous right away. Right away. Even if they are the older sibling and they have a little sister, automatically they're grinding their teeth at the fact that that little thing seems to have its whole fucking intelligence put together. It doesn't have to go anywhere. It doesn't feel it needs to go anywhere else. Wandering. No, it's intact right then and there, born perfect. The man isn't. Why? Because he's born to the woman. Didn't just say he's born to a half-baked piece of shit. No, he's born half-baked. And he has to find his intelligence. Now, a real woman, the woman who is alive and well, pushes him away, kind of pushes him into that world. Doesn't allow him to, not even as an infant, to treat her as a dispensary. She does that by just sticking with her common sense. Is the fucking thing done eating or not? When the milk comes out the nose, yes, it's done. You don't let it fidget at the nipple. See, a lot of oral fixations happen. See, I know a lot that I'm not sharing that's coming together, and it's going to take, 9 hours of a month of communicating to fucking people who think they want to know something. In the end, of course, it's the woman that has the fucking profound responsibility. Right at the spigot, I called it. Right at the spigot. Whether it's when she's being when she's being bombarded by, what is it, a narcissist for sex, or now it's time to feed the little things. She has to discern how to turn it into actions versus activities. Two totally diametrically opposite things. Actions are needed. The baby needs the food, and to come to the point of satiation where it's coming out of the nostrils and then you move it away. She needs to give it away. Comes a point where it's just coming out and she needs to feed. And so all of that synchronizes. It's nothing that she just decides, I have a power trip, now I'm going to do this. No, it's just a mechanism taking care. Now, when it gets beyond the point of feeding, and the baby just is bored and she's bored, and then she thinks that it needs to just sit there, and now it has a basketball now. With it, it's going to use both its feet to just bounce it around. No. Take it away, because that's an activity now. The activity is going on of, well, what is this? Fumbling with the breast or something and biting onto it, and she deserves that hurt. Get it away from there, because you are there to feed it. It isn't there to play basketball. Activity versus actions. Actions are what is needed. Activities, nope. Actions kind of save energy and maybe even give you energy. Activities is just to burn energy and you just forgot what the fuck to do. So now you're going to go and go to the recreation center and get into your activities. The white man's fucking plague. We got to go back. We got to go back. We got to go back. It's going to happen. See, I'm already starting this in my community. It's like, well, why are you doing this, Shauna? Why are you putting up signs? And I'm so proud of myself. Because I did. I just blindly, I put up these notes saying, oh, and by the way, you have a dead woman there. Who would allow you to pour asphalt all over the place? The Dead Woman Society, by the way, look at it. You have no leader. Who would direct you away from living so harmfully and so blindly? And each and every neighborhood may have one. I don't know. Look for the most beautiful one there that's being set off in the corner. She doesn't wear makeup. She's just astounding. When you look at her, you're jealous of her. You're jealous of her. And all of your media now is geared away from that beauty, away from that geometry, away from the living body of Christ, who, that was a woman, babes. You have a fucking narcissist society now, dreaming that a life is happening, and it's so not. It is fucking. If you've seen what I see, and then you're going to be well taken care of, babe. You need to get the hell out of the enmeshment that you're involved with. There's a place for us, and it's going to happen. It will happen. It's going to happen. I'm going to see it if you can stay healthy enough. If you're not pummeled enough by that fucking dead woman society. See, for me, very lucky. Very lucky, see. I don't know. With the awakening could come a lot of wars, and your properties, say like the property that I own, will become worthless. Just like in Hawaii, where those people would like to come back to their land, and in fact, it's perfectly fertile. It's ready, it's been burned, and it's ready to fucking, it's got plenty of charcoal to burn now. You have to burn it to make it fertile. Well, but no, they're being deceived by the deceiver, by something that allows this to happen. It's too prevalent. It's inhumane, maybe. We don't know. We really don't know. What says that now we can reset this because it's built on a lie? See, I have an intuitive suspicion that indeed the leaders have gone, they've got into the background, and there's something happening that is equal to all of this, is as fascinating as the science fiction that you turn on and you watch about aliens, and are they here, and why is the warring going on, and why do things look the way they do. See, what I'm understanding about the organism, it has this one side to it that is super intelligent, and it doesn't need to go any place or anywhere for it to just start maintaining and working, and it works with its hands. And see, it doesn't matter. It can work with the highest of high technologies, because if it's in connection with its humanity and its intelligence system, it's going to work it. That's the way women are. The saying goes, give them the material and they're going to build something out of it. So why is it, though, that we can't work with technology? Why is it that we have disappeared? And when I say we, babes, I'm talking about the woman. Where does she go? Why? Is it because there's a machine there and not a man to direct around and do the work? No, I don't think so. Something has been hijacked and lost on the way. Of course, it's the fact that the organism can be programmed and used for anything. Because why? The woman. The woman is there, highly adaptable, making things work. How? Why? How? Because ideally you want that thing to stay alive and keep its well-being and reproduce. And reproduce that mentality, right? Right? That's how remarkable it is. Anyway, we'll try to finish this conversation. Really, only the leaders will have, like me, will be talking into the wind about this, because we're putting common sense together. It's like, no, over there it's been found, and over there they're saying, and it's like, okay, so my intuitive scan was correct, based on what's coming back at me, saying, by the way, Yeah, it's simple. It's so simple that things have been complicated up, and now this is the reason why our technologies would be harmful, the reason why a lot of things that we're doing, we can do all of these things, but take the poisons out of them, take the manipulation and the ill intention all behind it out of it. It could be a beautiful place. And I've heard this so many times. It was during COVID-19, and the people that I noticed who would just take their mask down and start talking were the women standing in line or somewhere, and some of them, my elders, some of them would say, and it could be such a better, decent place. It could be, life could be so much better. Put their mask on. What are they saying? It's because something else is fucking taking and running amok something, and the leaders are gone, and it's if you knew what I knew and what I was looking at. See, this is the thing, is that I really do think that the certain part of the organism is going to rise up. They'll have enough money, they'll have enough clout, they'll be able to rise up enough of a thing. And it's like, well, wait a minute. See, it makes me think. It's like, well, now the other half, the men, are going to start warring against women, and I'm here to tell you, stupid fucking idiots, you're stupid. You're born stupid, and now you're going to kill your mothers and your leaders. You need to stand down and realize that you're fucking possessed by Satan or something. Women are the same way, though. See, I was just kind of throwing it around. I live alone here, and I don't associate much. And I talked to a woman, and I heard this woman say, "Well, no, yeah, no, women are egotistical too. They have power trips too. You can't trust them either. Blah blah blah." And then she turns around and leaves. I'm like, okay, but you don't have to be that way, you dumb bitch. Use your common sense. Did you ever want anything to do with this? No, you want something to do with something. What is it? Fuck, we don't even know, do we?